number 31, many, many moons ago, and I sat at the table of St. Teresa. And I went to Cursillo. I was married. I had 3 babies. My youngest, Kelly, was 6 months old. I was married to Bill, and he got sick. And I was supposed to go to Cursillo, leaving him with 3 sick kids. And I thought, no, I don't think so. Well, then my sponsor, God bless her little heart, ended up in the hospital. And I went, thank the Lord, I'm finally out of this. And I thought, this is really, really cool. And when I had to do the paperwork, I wasn't putting Denise Hudspeth, because everybody knew by then who Denise Hudspeth was. I wasn't even ordained, but I was very active. And so I put my nickname, Denny. And I thought, oh, they'll never know who it is. And then here I was, off and running, and my neighbor took me, who was also a Holy Trinity person. And so she picked me up, and I said, I'm not going. Everybody's sick, I'm not packed. She lovingly smiled and said, oh, okay, we'll fix that. She came in and threw things in the bag. And I went, I'm not sure this is a good thing. You know, baby's sick, yada, yada. No, we're going. He had already gone. Back to the old days, when they go first, the men go first, and we go. So anyway, I get there to Grace Church, in the middle of nowhere in the dark, and guess that was the first time I met Bob Sullivan, because he was doing his thing up there. He was doing the calling and the names and all this good stuff. And I thought, oh man, well, they're going to call Denny Hudspeth, and nobody's going to know who I am. So I just quietly kept my head down, kept going. When the name was called, and that was it. That was my first introduction to Bob Sullivan. I then started to call him Mr. Cursillo, but he didn't know that till now. It's amazing what sermons will do for you. I went on my weekend. I didn't want to be there. I thought, oh, I know everything I need to know about Jesus. I grew up a Roman Catholic, for heaven's sake. I went to Catholic school. Those nuns, they taught you who Jesus was. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I got there and I thought, no, I'm leaving. And Fran, you weren't there, but Marilyn Rasnick was. She was the Reclamora. Oh, you were, oh Lord. So my Saturday morning, I said, no, I'm out of here, and I'm calling my husband to come pick me up. And so I nicely picked myself up off my table. And the cha-chas were up. And this was in a parish hall that was papered up, so you didn't know what time of day it was. These were the old days, folks. It's nothing like this now. And all of a sudden, one of the spiritual directors comes and intercepts me. Father Paul Rasmus. Where are you going? I'm leaving. I know Jesus. I don't need to stay. This is boot camp for those that don't know it. I said, no, I'm farther than this. Oh, okay. Well, just stay. Just one more night. I said, look, could you please ask Marilyn to let go of the bell? And those of you that have experienced those weekends understand that bell. And I stayed. And it was the most moving experience in my life. Jesus came back in a very special way. In a way that I never knew. That was my first awakening that I thought God called me to the ordained ministry. And I went, oh, Father Rasmus is never going to buy this. And I waited for several years. Yeah, I did. And that process just kind of went. And here I am today. It took me 8 years to be a deacon. I was persistent. They thought I was going to go away, and I didn't. And then I was a deacon for 10 years, quite happy in my little world. I killed the Holy Spirit for about 5 years as the deacon, and it wasn't that simple. Because then God kept knocking on my door. And Jesus kept saying, you know, it's time to think about priesthood. And I closed the door. door and I'd say, no, not today. And I went to a retreat and I heard, I'm not asking you to be a priest, just check it out. I said, listen. So I did the thing. I was honest and truthful, and I began to explore ministry as what I spent 10 years saying. No, I'm not going to be one of them. Now I am one of them. But not the same. I am different. God speaks to me differently. Jesus touches my life. And everything that I've done as a priest has been a hard decision. A heart, not hard, a heart decision. I didn't want to go to the Glades, but that's where they sent me. In my middle year, I said, somebody teased me and said, oh, they're going to send you to the Glades. Oh, no, they got a priest. I'm not going to the Glades. God wouldn't do that to me. Don't ever say that. I spent just about 4 years in the Glades. First year I cried. The second year I began to pull up my bootstraps and go, all right, tell me what to do. I'm ready. I did. I think I built a foundation. Only God knows. And then it went from there. And then we ran out of money. The story of my ministry. We ran out of money. And so off I went. Down to Miami to St. Margaret's to be the rector. And we really didn't speak the same language. 6 months after I was there, I went, wow, okay then. And we just didn't speak the same language. And in 18 months, we were running out of money. And it didn't look like they could keep a full-time priest. And I went, oh, the handwriting's on the wall now. Okay, Denise, what are we going to do? I thought, I can't stay a part-time priest. So God opens windows when doors close. And I went full of pain, full of frustration, but I went. I came into being a hospice chaplain, and I can't tell you the times in my life in the last 2 years when Jesus wasn't there. Even at times when the person I am with just doesn't know Jesus. Or my Jewish patients, that concept of life after death is so very different. Or the Buddhists that I have sat with in their dying process. I believe in the Creator. And yet we connect. My higher power, for those that are in 12-step programs, I speak their language too. Because I've experienced those 12-step rooms. And they've saved my life in many times. These are doors and gifts that Jesus and God has given to me. And I now share what I have given or gotten from people.